Hi, kids. Okay, Halloween 2018. So, which means it's been 9 years when this comes out since Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, which is the biggest span in the franchise to date between movies. Prior to that, the biggest span between movies was Halloween 5 and Halloween 6. Halloween 5 and Halloween 6 are they connected stories? I think so, right? 7 is when we reset. Either way. And for comparison, Halloween 2 to Halloween 5, which are mostly connected stories, except for 3 in the middle there, uh, those all were come out in a span of 9 years. You get 2, 3, 4, 5, all in 9 years. Now we have this 9 year gap. We also have the return of the October release date, as it should be. That's important. Blumhouse is now holding the rights. They are the ones making these films. So we reset the timeline again. We've done that before. We're doing it again. But this time, it's a direct sequel to 1978 Halloween, pretending all of the other films don't exist. Um, 40 years later. So they could have called this H40, but they don't. The sequel to Halloween this time is called Halloween. Um, yeah, uh, and which means it's 40 years later. I think if he goes to see the film, Michael Myers gets a senior's discount. So that was a good, big selling point for Mike. He was like, "Yeah, I get a discount. I'll take part." John Carpenter, speaking of senior citizens, is also taking part in this one. A lot bigger role, hasn't really been part of the franchise since Halloween 2. He might have been financially persuaded, but he also maybe was not the biggest fan of Rob Zombie's take on Michael Myers. Following Zombie leaving the franchise, they were just going to continue on without him. Halloween 3D, I believe, was the most reported idea that Miramax Dimension Films had. There were several different pitches and directors and writers. Same thing we've talked about this entire series attached. Nothing comes to fruition. Finally, David Gordon Green and Danny McBride, writers of this, Green directing, uh, they pitch it and it gets the Carpenter okay, and we move forward because maybe that's what's missing. You need to approach the guys who made Pineapple Express and Your Highness. Those two comedies, you want them behind your Halloween movie to make it scary again, apparently. Uh, Carpenter does the score. There's some great things added to the score. He does the score with his son Cody, as well as his godson Daniel Davies, who was the son of one of the Davies from the Kinks. I don't know if it's Ray, his brother. Either way, um, not a bad team of three here making this score. So, um, Michael has been imprisoned uh, since the original for 40 years. Uh, Laurie is secluded in sort of her bunker, shelter, fortified fortress. She's got an estranged family who live in Haddonfield, of course, and a granddaughter who has a group of friends who will feature more and more prominently, or the granddaughter will become more of a character throughout these movies. Uh, Michael being transferred, uh, and he escapes with some help. We find out eventually. And of course, this is happening on Halloween Eve, because of course it is. Um, and Michael has to find himself a mechanic to kill so he can take those coveralls. He also retrieves his mask because he's kind of naked without those things. You can't have Michael Myers without coveralls and a mask. People didn't like what zombies Myers looked like. And then he promptly resumes his hobby. Guys gotta have hobbies. His is killing people, usually teenagers, babysitters. Um, there's so many references in this Halloween and this Halloween series to the films that it pretends don't exist, which is an interesting idea. We'll just erase those and then just um, reference them, steal their ideas. Not totally steal their ideas, but a little bit steal their ideas. We have an obsessed doctor. Loomis is dead, though, of course. So it's a new doctor who is obsessed with Michael Myers. Michael is brought to Laurie's house, and I should mention it's Jamie Lee Curtis is returning again. Um, she is trapped, or Michael is trapped by the Strode ladies. We have Laurie, her daughter, and her granddaughter, all tricking Michael. And then they're burning down the house with the psycho killer inside of it. Qu'est-ce que c'est? Anyways, Halloween 2018, not too shabby. What you think? For David Gordon Green and Danny McBride, I think it exceeds a lot of people's expectations. Thank you for watching. Like, subscribe.